What's going on, everybody? This is Jeff with Living in Arizona, and today we are going to make a really interesting video for those of you who are planning to buy a home in Phoenix. Some of you might be planning to move here and then rent a home in, say, 6 months, or rent a home for 6 months and then buy, or live here for a year, see if you like it, and then buy. And then some of the other questions you might be having is, well, should I buy a resale home or should I buy a brand new home that I get to customize completely? It's just they build it and then I get to build the yard and all that. And that's what we're going to dial in this video. And so this is coming about because the questions keep coming and you guys are awesome and keep, the channel pumping. And so you can see here in Living in Arizona in Facebook, we've got tons of comments and questions and people asking for recommendations about moving here, and they've already moved here. They're looking for auto insurance, and it's just a good way to get that information and stay on top of what we need to know, right? And so you can join the group, link below in the comments, and this is a place where we're all hanging out and answering questions. Sometimes I even chime in, but most of the time everyone else is so willing to help out. And also, if you're looking for a real estate agent, here's the real estate agent that helped me buy a home, Matthew Crooks. You can call him at 480-548-2229. He's helped provide me with a lot of information and insight into the Arizona housing market, including Phoenix. He knows all over Phoenix, Scottsdale. He was a former Marine, so he's been around the world a couple times, or well, once a Marine, always a Marine, right? So you can give him a call at 480-548-2229. You can pause the video and also take a look at his number. He's also in the Facebook group. You can contact him directly. He's with Berkshire Hathaway. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive in here and take a look at some of the things you're going to need to know related to buying new homes or older homes, right? So I'm going to give my own opinion as someone who's owned a brand new home and also looked at older homes. We're also going to look at some of the details on thebalance.com, and they're going to talk about some of their opinions so that you can, consider some of this stuff. Now, I personally went with a new home because I wanted the most up-to-date, most recent stuff that you can get in a house, right? Smart home stuff, energy efficiency. I wanted, brand new infrastructure. I wanted to be able to customize my yard the way that I wanted to be able to do it, which some of you guys have already seen on my videos where I built my yard from basically a blank canvas of dirt and built what I wanted back there the way that I wanted to do it. Now, the downside to that is I had to pay out of pocket for that. If I already bought a house that was already existing, that would have already been done. So let's just say I put in $50,000 into my backyard to build a pool. That means that if I buy my house for $270,000, and then I have to add on another $50,000, whether that's a loan to build the pool, or if that is, whatever the case may be, it's maybe out-of-pocket cash. But if I buy a house that's, say, $310,000, that includes all in the loan with the pool, right? So now some of the downsides to buying a used home, in my opinion, were like you would look at the pool and it would have a crack in it, and someone would say, well, that's going to take $5,000 to repair that crack. You can't have that crack in the pool. The pool structure might have a crack or whatever. Or, you could be looking at it where maybe they installed rain gutters and that whole thing has to be redone. You got to pay $3,000 to have that redone. Or the air conditioner unit is about to go out, so that's going to cost $7,000 to replace that, or $5,000 depending on the situation. So some of those things may put you off. But at the end of the day, one of the real big benefits of owning a home or owning a new home versus a used home or a resale home is new homes come with new communities. That means you get to be a part of the conversation that takes place on building that new community. You're also going to be one of the first to move in there, because of the urban sprawl. If you're moving, say, to Queen Creek or Santan Valley or Florence or even Buckeye, you're there as the city is like emerging out of the desert as an oasis. If you're moving into, say, Gilbert, you're coming in there and that's already an established place. That means established schools. It's already an established community. Already got Costco and Home Depot and Lowe's nearby. So those are some other things to consider when you're considering used or a resale versus new home. And so let's talk about this. So on the balance, they said, should first-time homeowners buy new homes or older homes? And so let's take a look at the advantages of buying an older home. So old world construction. Older homes have stood for decades, some centuries, and weathered many storms. Some were built by hand, by genuine craftsmen and with meticulous attention to detail. You'll often hear people say they don't make them like they used to. It is true. So larger yard. Years ago, when land was cheaper, builders built on larger lot sizes, leaving room to accommodate garages on alleys. And, even if they're in rural areas, you still get bigger yards, right? And more established yards where you get the big trees and whatnot. That's something to really consider, is these established permaculture and horticulture and stuff. More character. Craftsman bungalows originated in California in the 1890s, but they're ubiquitous across the U.S. Other popular styles are Victorians, Greek revivals, Tudors, or colonials. Interesting architectural features are abundant in these homes, such as arches, hand-carved, decorative appointments, or stained glass windows. Nowadays, they just throw them up like boom, boom, boom. A new house every 3 months, from plumbing. Before you even, what's the first thing you do when you put a house down? You put in the plumbing, and then you put the concrete pad, and then you put the frame, and then you put the insulation, and then you put the stucco, and then you put the, blah, 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 and you're putting in the appliances, and that's all done in 3 months, right? But these other homes, sometimes they take 6 months to a year. So more character, we've talked about that. Longer term neighborhoods, passed down through generations. Many neighbors know each other. The neighborhood might be deemed historic. That's kind of a little bit of a downside, is when you move into these established areas, you're the new person in town, and the gawking hens and all the people who come out of nowhere, the cranky roosters, they're like, who's the new person down here, or who's doing this and that. But when you're new to a neighborhood, when everyone's new, it's like no one's the king of the block, or no one really runs the block, runs the roost, right? And so when you get this stuff with being in these new communities, I think that was one of the benefits that I noticed. Everyone's new, so no one has this superiority complex over who was here first, marking their territory. With these older communities, you get that. Some people are really friendly, though, even in these established communities. Mature trees and vegetation, which I just talked about, closer to downtown entertainment and restaurants. So you're going to be closer to downtowns. You're going to be closer to established places like Costco, like I said, Home Depot, Lowe's, all that. That makes it really good. Drawbacks to buying an older home: more maintenance. Like I said, air conditioning unit might be going out. The rain gutters might be falling apart. The garage door might be breaking. Smaller closet storage spaces in garages. Nowadays, the modern person wants bigger garages. They want more closet space. Might have to require updates, HVAC, stuff like that. Often more expensive. Another thing that I don't think they're going to mention on this is something like HOAs, homeowner associations. So sometimes you're the previous homeowner will do something, and then they'll be gone for 6 months because of a foreclosure or something, and you'll try to move in, and then the HOA tries to slap the violation onto you. So let's just say that something like a tree was planted too close. They'll say, well, you have to remove that, or you didn't get a building permit for that, or the concrete pavement's too over here, and you have to repair that. And you're like, well, I just moved in here, I didn't even build that. And they'll be like, well, tough luck. So HOAs can be a real pain in the butt in some of these established communities and some of these newer communities. Just something to consider. I mean, both ways. You're going to possibly get a homeowners association that's just going to irritate the heck out of you, because they're going to want $100 a month from you, and they're also going to want to dictate to you what you can and cannot do. And their justification is that they're going to street sweep and make sure that the side roads are well manicured. Just HOAs are kind of, I don't know. It would be nice if everyone could just take care of their own house and make sure their weeds are picked up, so the HOA doesn't have to tell people to manicure their yards. But I guess that's the advantage. So advantages of buying a newer home: little maintenance, modern conveniences, builder's warranty. That builder's warranty is really important because in California, builders are required to give buyers a 10-year warranty the first time. I don't know how long that builder's warranty is in Arizona. I can say from my case, it's been that you get 30 days to report something, then you get like a 3-month inspection, and then you get after like a year, they come back and they say, so how's everything going? You might have a crack in your roof with a brand new build, just because the foundation settles, and supposedly that's really common. Like, I have a crack in my house. I'll show you guys my house one of these days. I still owe you that video. It's a brand new house, and I would say that a brand new house probably takes about a year to really make it a home. I mean, and that's moving pretty quick. I've felt as though I moved pretty quick. Energy efficiency, built to code, emotional factor of newness. Some people like that. Let's face it, there's nothing like owning something that's brand new, like, brand spanking new, right? Less expensive. If the new home is not custom, it's likely to cost much less per square foot than an older home in the city. Many millennials are flocking to suburban areas for precisely this reason. Greater average square footage. So yeah, you get bigger houses in these newer homes, less yard, but bigger houses, bigger living areas, right? And then here's another look on Realtor.com, 10 reasons home buyers prefer new homes versus used. You can see, we'll just go through the list. Design your dream home your way. Choose a floor plan and room layout that meets your needs. All new, under warranty. Number 4 is energy and cost savings, comfort and indoor quality. So yeah, I mean, in Arizona, comfort, indoor quality is really important, and new homes have that. That's huge. That's huge. That was one of the deciding factors for me, that central cooling that I know was designed to the most state of the art. Low maintenance. New cars today are computer designed and computer equipped. Basically the smart home. There's also this next gen home thing. I can make a whole video about next gen if you want. These next gen homes are pretty big things, and we'll talk about that in detail in a video about next gen homes. But it's not just next generation technology, it's next generation as in like another person living inside your home, a home inside a home. Community amenities. Many new homes are built in lavish master plan communities with resort style community centers, pools, and clubhouses. Some of these older homes, especially in Phoenix, Chandler, Gilbert, even Tempe, they don't have these resort style community centers like they have in these newer homes where they got parks on the corner. Like in my community, once they built up the community, they started building parks with play sets and ramadas. Some of these older communities just don't have that if they were built before built in the 60s and 70s. Community amenities. Many homes are built in lavish master plan communities. We just talked about that. Advanced technology and design. So safety, state-of-the-art circuit breakers. So in essence, what you really get, older home, you get more established community, more established home with more custom attention to detail. And the newer homes, you're going to get the more modern conveniences with the more modern emphasis. If you're one of those type of people who like to go to Europe because you like to go to Rome and see the old world style, then you're going to want an older home. If you're the type of person who wants to go to Singapore because you want to see what the cities of the future are going to look like, then you might want to go with the modern design. It just depends. It seems like older people tend to have a taste more inclined to the older, more rustic stuff. And the newer generations, the millennials in particular, want that new stuff their way, the way that they like it. And so they're more inclined to build a brand new house and then develop the yard with the blank canvas. So also safety, state-of-the-art circuit breakers, that new home feel, which we already talked about. And then there's 5 reasons you should not build a new home. So the cost of new homes versus older homes. There are a few reasons why new homes are going to cost you more than equivalent older homes. In a poor housing market such as what we have right now, well, I don't know if that's necessarily relative. They're saying a poor housing market. That's not necessarily Arizona, right? I don't know. Maybe this article doesn't exactly go over the right thing in the first one. The environmental impact. So they're saying, build a fixer-upper, take a fixer-upper. That's why do we need to build new homes when we have homes that need to be fixed up? So they're saying, be a little bit more environmentally friendly, the hassle. This is coming from my personal experience, but I've never met someone who has built a home and didn't complain about how much work, micromanaging, decision-making, fighting, and frustration is created for them. Oh my gosh, yeah. Designing the backyard has been a task. I mean, it's really been a chore. It's like a job inside of a job, except it cost me more money. So I like to build all the things that I had to build, the rework that goes into it, whether it be the plumbing, the electric. Like I had to redo the electric line twice because we cut a ground. I've had to, just building the pool can be expensive, getting the wrong supplies. And you can't factor that into your sale of your house. You just have to hope that inflation comes up and catches up to you. So the quality, the look of it, a lot of things to consider, the pride. Some people like to have that feeling of building the home themselves, but also some people like to have that feeling, that pride in taking a house, flipping it, and turning it into a masterpiece after it was already dilapidated, repurposing the home. So many different things. And like I said, you're going to really want to contact Matthew, like I mentioned on this in the beginning of the video. He's going to be able to help answer some of your questions, even for those of you who are considering just buying a condo and whatnot. So I hope everyone enjoys this content. Thanks to everyone who's been liking these videos. This is Larry. He's apparently he wants to go for a walk. He doesn't want to say hi. Hi, Larry. Let's see. Is Larry? This is Larry. That's Larry. He's a dog. He's like, why am I on camera? He wants to be famous. Some of you guys have already seen him before. He's really friendly. He's warm. He's cool. And my cat. But anyway. All right. So I'm going to take Larry for a walk and see you guys next time.